Whenever I'm blocking out the basic shape, I like to try to work in silhouette when I have a good solid kind of understanding what the structure of my model is going to be. These small little changes to the overall placement of our joint location, our body mass locations, is easily understood when looking at our objects in silhouette. This silhouette view eliminates all of the interior detail of the object itself and allows us to look at the overall profile shape or silhouette of our object. And it's an incredibly helpful tool in ensuring that what we have blocked out is really achieving the visual goal that we've set off. And I love working in silhouette. Now, I have a pretty good start done on my little model here. It's starting to look pretty solid, and this is usually the stage that I start looking at my model in silhouette. Now, we're not going to make any big structural changes to any materials or anything. We're just going to use some simple viewport properties to shade our viewport in a way that really enhances this idea of a silhouette. The goal here is a singular color applied to this entire shape that allows us to see the profile of our object in 3D, which is pretty cool. All right, so where we're going is up into our viewport shading properties way up here in the upper right hand corner. I'm in this third one, which is giving me a shading preview of the material that's been applied to my little grizzly bear here. We don't want that. We want the number 2 one, which is going to bring in our workbench shading engine, okay? And the number 2 option, so this little white sphere, is going to allow us to customize how we're working with our viewport shading styles to give us a different look. Now, at the moment, what we're looking through here is that I'm in the color area down here, excuse me. This color area is set to material. Now, these are just lighting presets up here, okay? We're gonna go, and it doesn't really matter which one, I'm gonna go into Matte Cap, and we are most interested in this color section, okay? Now, we have a whole series of objects, or excuse me, a whole series of choices. We have material, object, vertex, textures, random. That's kind of cool. But specifically, I want to have single, because single is going to allow me to choose the color. This is what it looks like. So the default color is white. If we click in this big color square here, we'll get the color picker. And I'm just going to take my little dot on this value slider and drive it all the way down to 0, which is going to flood the entire, all the geometry in this scene completely black, okay? Which allows me to see just quite beautifully the silhouette of my character. This allows me to see, it strips out all of the shading that the viewport drawing engine's given us. It's stripping out the influence of all the light. And now we are basically just seeing the overall silhouette. And I start asking myself questions. Is this looking the way I want it to look? From a big view, without any of that interior detail in the mesh itself, are we achieving the visual goals that we set out to achieve? The big question here is, does it look like a bear in silhouette? If we were to turn off all the lights and just see a shadow of this character, would we still understand what it is that we're looking for? In my case, I'm there. I think I've nailed it. But it's a great opportunity for us to go in and make some pretty big changes. Maybe we want, maybe I say to myself, well, the nose is too small, or the nose is too big. And well, we can make changes to that pretty quickly. Or maybe we don't like the way that the rear of my bear is looking. And we can make those changes almost in near real time to understand how the profile and the silhouette is impacting our understanding of what it is that we've created. These silhouettes are an incredibly useful tool in the early stages of our blockout to ensure that what we are creating is being read correctly by our audience. So change your material properties, or excuse me, your viewport properties. Go in here, change it to single, change the color all the way down to black, and flood all of your geometry with a single color so that you too can see the silhouette of the sculpture that you're creating.